yes, this is real. And to any atheist, ancient Rome collapsed in real life. Ancient Greece collapsed in real life, and so did Babylon in real life. I know the answer to this. The government don't. Um, New fake news doesn't. So I suggest you know, stick around to learn why this is, because it's an unseen answer. And when I teach you this answer, you need to spread this amongst atheists so they can understand why these societies keep collapsing. And yes, your society is collapsing right now. You feel it, but you don't understand why it's happening. I will tell you in an atheist manner, using atheist logic, knowledge, examples, why this keeps happening to society. So, yeah, well, I will do a bit of religion because we didn't want the apocalypse to be this boring. You atheists have made the apocalypse boring. So, religion, yeah, the fourth seal's been broken. Beast following is actually violent youth. Um, but so far, you failed the first judgment. It's the woman is Venus, goddess Venus, and the serpent. You failed that test, which we'll get into in a bit. My test, I will try and turn you away. It's a very simple test, but in this day and age, I have as much belief in people as people have belief in God. Um, if you fail this test, you move on to the Morning Star test, the sun god, and both of them were sun gods, embodiments of sins, Jesus and Lucifer. The test is whether you sacrifice the lamb or you make the lamb um, walk amongst the mortals. Once the sacrificial God is not a sacrifice, he drops down from the heavens. That's what you were being taught, because Jesus is a great story for Christians, not so much for Jews, is it? They all started off Jews. So what's this sacrifice doing? So at the moment, you on par to sacrifice the current morning star. Um, and what he will do is be an example um, of who's going to be sacrificed um, in public, and then all his rebels will go to war with you. And that'd be the youth, the neglected youth of today. Is in an atheist sense, it's Universe 25, behavioral sync experiment. This is the mouse utopia. You put 4 sets of mice into this utopia. There's much bedding, food, water as they want, free from predators. So it's a utopia. Nothing can go wrong, right? But it's mirrored society. It starts off the boomers, there's rapid growth, then it slows down, starts to shrink. They have all sorts of problems, like breeding problems. We've obviously got that with incels and fem cells. Um, we've got disconnection from the pack, from the youth not looking for jobs. We've got that. And the key ending to this Universe 25 is that it's violent. They start attacking um, for no reason, start killing each other for a sport, basically. Um, it's the key in the atheist sense of why the kids are getting violent. Um, and once you understand this experiment from a different perspective, um, then you can understand how dangerous it is. Because at the moment, the theory is that it's an experiment of overpopulation, but it never got overpopulated. And that's the key question that these boffins should be asking. It had a capacity of 3,000. Why didn't it go over 3,000? It went up to 2,200. But they're not asking the questions. They're not finding the answers. Um, and then I'm going to show you why we have mirrored this experiment. Um, let's start with some real news. Build of the Me Too movement, Pimfarts and Tradwives. You are not feminist. You are misogynist. How dare you go back to the oppressive housewife role, you had wives. Yeah? How dare you not have sexual intercourse, as much sexual intercourse as you want? Um, why are you not complaining about having sex with random guys? This was the sexual revolution. Um, and why are you complaining about being pervert when big statement was "Hello, boys," the Wonder Bra ad. That was a big, proud feminist moment, and you are complaining about men looking in your direction, even though it's a setup, because they're just looking to see how long you're going to take to get off the gym equipment. But there is a complete breakdown between men and women, and I will explain that. But I officially declare that men have won the gender war. It is over, girls. This should have been ended at the Me Too movement. All these feminists knew the Me Too movement isn't what they stood up for. Um, what they stood up for has gone completely wrong in the Me Too movement, and you need to be held accountable for your behaviour, the way you've acted um, during this situation. It's not the men's fault, and we'll get into that as well. So, the two fights of feminism fight for money, the economy, and then the fight for the sexual revolution, both crashing and burning, and I'm going to explain why. Let's start with the economy. Um, you think you're a single person. Our life is your life, right? That's what you've been taught. But there is such thing as a collective conscience. Our brains are designed to interact with each other, and they need to interact with each other. And this collective conscience, we can call the matrix by Andrew Tate, um, is broken. And we need to understand why um, we have to interact with each other, how we have to interact with each other, to understand why collective conscience is breaking and people are going to suffer um, this mental snap. So, to navigate the mental land, I'm, I'm going to use a technique like this. If I had to draw grassland and show the footpaths, but I only had a green pen, pen I would colour in the grass and I would just see graphs not coloured in. That's what I'm going to do with the mental landscape. I'm going to use something evil, um, and basically we go that way. We have to abolish it, and we're going to go that way instead. The evil is racism. If I make a black guy more favourable, less favourable than a white guy, then I'm a racist. Or if I do political stereotypes, or crime stereotypes or women stereotypes, um, kind of thing, I'm also a racist. But good path, we know the good path is the Martin Luther King path, and we use the King model. He had two rules. Um, keep being brought up and you combine them. So we all need to walk side by side as equals, but we should not be judged by the colour of our skin, but our character. So we're not all strict equality amongst everybody. We still have our own characters. But if a black guy and a white guy in the same situation, if they're being treated equally, um, then it's not racist. Um, Barack Obama's the president. Donald Trump's the president. Um, Whitney Houston's a great singer. Jessie J did a mean Whitney Houston on the Chinese show. It's great. Um, Thomas Sowell, very intelligent guy. And then Stephen Fry, very intelligent guy. Same with common stuff. A white man getting paid £12 an hour for that job. A black man should get paid for that job. Not racist, just treating them the same in the same situation. Um, Same crimes, same time. Um, so yeah, we've got the good path, the bad path. If we go down the bad path, we abolish it. If we go down the good path, we're in line with the Matrix. Okay, so the reason I'm doing this is because you think civilization's built has two answers. There's actually three, and you'll see the third answer and why I have to do this navigation. So we start with the American answer. Um, the world was built on freedom. Um, British, we were the ones with the votes. We know this is rubbish, but very long for funsies. A black guy in my free will is free to commit as much crimes as he wants. He's free to take our women and rob our, rape our lands. Racism. Just typical racist nonsense. Answers nonsense. So we abolish it. Sorry. Um, the second answer is slavery. We've got a guy working a field. Um, I don't pay him a dime. He can have a bed and some food. That's it. It's racist. It's the one thing that you you just know is racist, and we have to abolish that one like we did um, ages ago. So that is really bad. Um, Oppressive times. Um, it's always a guilt-ridden kind of mental trip. Um, but it's important to know that that's the way of oppression. Um, because the third answer is this: I've got a black guy working my field all day. He comes to me and he gets paid a wage. He's a farmer. The world's built on slavery, two different types of slavery. And this is why you can't really go guide your people because you keep avoiding the slavery answer, not knowing that there's two slavery answers. Um, so the first mistake is what your politicians are going to do is well, money is power, right? We give money, and then the divine path opens, and let's all worship money. Um, so I've got a field. I've got a black guy and a white guy both working, and at the end of the day, I pay the white guy £500 sterling. Um, but then I go to the black guy and pay him £500 rent-free money. Racist. Was he going to buy two train stations? Abolish it. We give him sterling. But there's the mental trick. It's um, you've got paper or plastic, but we use paper. Paper with symbols on it. Both of them paper with symbols. Um, but one's not power. Um, One is power. So what it means is that the symbols of power. They're not the. They're the same um, material and function, but one's got more power than the other one. And the key to this, you have to ask your politicians now is: have you turned your pounds, your dollars, your won into monopoly money? And you probably find you have, but they're going to be blinded by the usual rule of money does something and it makes people happy, but what if it's just a piece of paper with symbols on it now? So we've got two slaveries. We've got a bad direction. We've got a good direction. Um, what's really going on? Um, bad bad slavery works the field, and he provides stuff for the white man. That's kind of him from our point of view. But then we go and give him nothing back, and that's greed. We made him work for free. That's greedy, right? But in the good slavery, the black man works the field. He gets his money. He goes into town, and then he buys stuff. He gets served back. Um, he gets served by the grocers, the restaurant, the clothes stores, cars, housing, etc. So that's what we have to learn. The world is built on kindness slavery, and it's destroyed by greed slavery. And it's always that balance of um, are you being overserved or underserved? And then every clash of mankind is to get that the mental connection of us acting together in sync of serve and be served. You reap what you sow, basically. And that's the direction we should be taking. But then, how? Why is this collapse happening? Why is it dysfunctional? The mouse utopia experiment. Did the mouse run around with the money, have the economy, and all that stuff? No. There are two forms of kind of slavery. So I've got a black girl, um, cleans my house, cooks me food, does some childcare for me, and it's like, oh, back to the plantation days there, and it's like, hang on a minute, she's my wife. That's okay. Yeah. Well, that's loving black people, isn't it? That's not racist. And yet the jobs are the same. Um, but obviously, slave days, got to do the jobs, um, gave her bed for the night, and some food. It's connection between husband and wife, which was the original slavery. That's been going similar. Money, economic slavery has only been around for thousands of years. Love slavery is the family slavery has been around, you know, millennial. Um, so when we've got two slaveries, right? Um, they're connected. We know they're connected because men, it used to be men go to work, um, to serve the family. It's only half true. If you're a single man, you go to work, earn your money, pay for your house, your car, and all that stuff, and that's it. You've served yourself. Um, you've served your own life and all that stuff. So that slavery is a separate entity than the family slavery. It's linked to the family slavery when you say you move your wife in and go, I've worked for this house, I've paid for this house, I'm going to let you live in this house free of charge. Kindness. I've got to pay for my car, I'm going to drive you around, like a taxi. You have to pay for that in the economy. I'm going to do it free of charge. Kindness. Bills, um, free of charge. Kindness. But it is the mental payday of kindness and the man serving a woman free of charge. Um, and then now you've got two slaveries. You can now finally understand the housewife role because if you go into the economy and order food, you pay for it. Cooks your food free of charge. Kindness. Childcare paid for in economy, free of charge. Um, Slavery. Um, and then cleaning, paying the economy free of charge. You can now see the full mental, connection. Love slavery was the dominant slavery. Economic slavery was the side piece. And what feminism did was glorify this secondary slavery, and sacrifice the family's, love slavery. Um, so feminism, it, it originally was going to be we get people the powers of both man and woman, but they actually don't get anything. What they've done is gone. Uh, I'm not cooking food for you anymore free of charge. And lost that power of kindness. I'm not raising your kids free of charge. Lost the power of kindness. Um, the house isn't clean. Lost, power of kindness. Gone over to the economy with this big dream of a big mental payday. Um, we're going to worship them. This new world. We've gone in, got their stuff from the economy, paid for everything themselves, but they haven't served us. They've broken the family apart. And it's basically everybody's gone to work the field in, in the economy slavery, but nobody's function of the economy to serve the family, serve and be served, has gone. So we've all just worked the field for no real reward, and that's where we start to crash and burn. Um, like if in the old slavery, um, the economic white slaves were very hard workers. The black slaves were very demoralized, lazy, and all that stuff. But this is where you need some kind of control on that, and basically, it's anxiety. Anxiety is a very dangerous thing because what causes it is that kind of mental snap where you can't progress. The black guy can't progress, serve and go and be served. So they get anxiety, and all the stuff in anxiety is destructive. Um, like you've got low sex drive, so you can't reproduce. You've got it cripples the body, so they can't work hard. So if you think about like if you saw a guy getting whipped and you're working for free, it's like, yeah, working for free is a bummer, but I'll work hard as I can so I can don't get whipped. But if you've got anxiety, it just cripples your body that much. Standing up is such a hard task, never mind working the field. So it's just like, just whip me, don't care. Um, but anxiety is very destructive. You lose obsessions, like you lose interest in your hobbies. You know who has hobbies? Consumers. It's it's attacking everything and basically telling you you cannot build a society on greed slavery. And everyone's getting anxious, especially like Gen Z, and they are like the black slaves are being said. Gen Z are very similar. They're demoralized, don't want to work. Um, in China, they're just walking out to be homeless. Um, that's kind of what's going on here. The anxiety's, going through, affecting the younger generation even more. But if you go deep into anxiety, um, it really is demonic. Um, like you can start to synchronize with other people, and it's like Lucy Letby was a lovely girl, a Disney girl. She wanted a husband, she wanted kids. Anxiety brings out the demon mode because it's on the front lobes, the positivity's gone. Um, she will just, um, she would have just had the thought of, why are you having children when I can't have them? Um, and then she would have took it out. Don't worry, I haven't done anything dodgy. I just smashed my controller because I was playing Resident Evil 4 and trying to get the cats here. But it does. You need to release that adrenaline. It's saying you need to push forward, and if somebody's stopping you, then it will stop the positivity and going forward. So overkills, anxiety, um, suicide affects kinder natures. I've synchronized with Chester from Lincoln Park. Anxiety creates the violent natures, the war natures. It's what's going to get you. Once you make the alpha team anxious, they're going to become war dogs and they're going to attack. They won't care about who they attack. You won't be able to talk to them in a mental sense. They have no connection to you. You have just abused um, the youth too much, um, creating this lack of mental stimulation and hooking everything to yourself. Um, that when you um, when you sacrifice Morning Star or this man of sin, um, everybody who's committed that sin or is just going to get that anxiety of, well, we all did that. I could go to jail now, and it's like once you get that anxiety and starts to build up, they're going to get super violent. That's what's happening in China. Either super violent or super crippled, or basically leaving society mentally. So yeah, this is what's causing the collapse. Put us all in greed slavery. Nobody's going to get the reward. Um, Everybody's angry because it's like, straight, give me that reward. I've done this job. You need to serve me. You need to make my brain happy. Give me, serve me, and nobody's entitled to being served. You've gone to the economy, served, got your money, pay for your stuff. That's it. Yeah. And this is what's caused all the global collapses um, because of the unseen mentality of family. Oh, we can just take more time out of the family and put the woman in for a couple of hours, and it becomes full-time jobs. Then the boss pays working all the time. It's like love slavery comes first, economy slavery second, um, and this is why you lost the gender war on the economic front because the idea was stupid. You already had a job to serve home, um, and you got very different jobs. So yeah, that battle's over. Feminist, um, done. Men are done with the economy. We're done with paying for you, but you still haven't progressed to that stage where you pay for us. Um, and yeah, we're all stuck up here, served with nothing being served back. But then we go to the second argument, and the argument is the sexual revolution. Um, it was a housewife who was oppressed in feminism. Um, they just saw it as a relationship. They didn't see it as a love slavery kind of thing. It was just like a woman's in the house with one guy, um, but she can get all that love from all different guys. She won't be oppressed with one singular guy anymore. And they're going to live in this glorious world. To understand why this failed, of a nature dog, dolphins, they're known for mating for life. You have to don't approach them full on. Let them come to you because the partner might get angry. Because they're proper instinct like that. But on the other side, um, dolphins are known like kind of rapey. Pull one of them out and start shagging them. But this is the key point. It's not personality. It's two different natures, and humans have this two different natures. You have the one the men and women who wanted to mate for life, and then you have the shaggers. And shaggers are alphas, linked to strength. Mate for life, sigmas, and betas. Um, they kind of just defy weakness, and this is what the battle was. Um, when feminism attacked, he basically just said, "We're not doing the mate for life things. We're going to drag around, but we're going to have all this love um, because you men are just shaggers." And it was Team Sigma who pulled away and formed the first Exodus. This was when Venus did the attack. So the Venus and the snake attack was you get the beautiful girl and you get the snake. The beautiful girl, dressed in sun god, um, basically it's Babylon 4. So she's dressed in whore clothes. She has four Babylon whores in a group, and the snake goes, "Oh, these are all sexy. These are, except for Venus. She's ugly, but she's beautiful. She's got a beauty." But the snake says she was ugly. Does that sound familiar, Britain? Yeah, that was when you create the death of the individual. Individual was Nicola Roberts, and the snake person, who she was, and made her that ginger one from Girls Aloud. It lost her identity as an idol. She's been this silent beauty all along. If you track her now, she's still the second um, favorite in Girls Aloud. She's getting positive reviews now, but she still had that fan base. even though you absolutely bullied her um, every corner of Britain. Um, he is a god of judgment, by the way. So it's to you. Um, so when you did that, her silent beauty held up for other wars of Babylon. Um, and then you've got this girl group with a false fan base. Um, and it's basically showed Britain, and at that time the rest of the world, because we weren't popular then after the Spice Girls. This is how it's done. We've got the hordes of Babylon. You know, what could possibly go wrong? A religion. So all the girls come idolize Girls Aloud. They start acting perverted. Like Girls Aloud, start wearing the perverted clothes, the mini skirts and cleavage, bellies, whatever. This was the start of full sexual revolution, and it was men who wanted to mate for life withdrew, and everything happened in the 2000s. Venus happened in the 2000s. MGTOW, 2000s. Incels became male dominant in the 2000s, and Gay started building um, in the 2000s. It's all connected. This was the first exodus of males from from a false attack feminism. Then the story continues. You've got women who defy weakness, but the feminists lied to them. The weakness in feminism was being a housewife and being an empowered woman who sleeps around. That's um, that's not weakness. So they went out dressed in the halls of Babylon, um, and they would become the victims of the Me Too movement. And basically, they ended up in that situation where you gave men the shag pass in the sexual revolution. Um, she's standing there thinking he's going to be the lovely guy. The lovely guys have left, and then he goes for a shag, and that's the Me Too paradox. Because even though it seems like um, she's a victim, same kind of situation, the rules were that marriage was lame, and having sex outside of marriage was the thing to do, and that's um, that's where the paradox comes in. The man's innocent, um, but the woman still kind of got that victimized situation, and that's when it started to build up because the other shaggers were just shagging. They didn't care. They didn't want that connection with you. They just wanted that glorification of being the man that shags lots of girls. And then it's where the story flips on its head. The women were now victims of these men because even though they started the fight, they did it with greed. They wanted all the love from men, from different men, and the loving men walked away. Then it kicks off in the Me Too movement. Um, you know, let's put these false rape allegations forward, believing that they're right because this they did mirror the crime. That's the awkward situation. Yeah. Um, they mirrored the crime, and then men get attacked. Team Alpha, um, and basically, once it keeps on going, these men are walking their own way. This is why the male exodus is getting powerful now, even though it started in the 2000s. But it's getting very toxic and very violent um, situation where um, groups who are coming now are being turned into like this terrorist kind of groups because it's the violent men that are building up from the attack from the Me Too movement. Um, so they're getting constantly attacked. Um, but them walking away ended the sexual revolution. You're not free to have sex with random girls anymore. Therefore, the feminist has failed. Therefore, she should accept a loss and man the hell up. But she didn't. And we're going into this. overtime of toxicity here, where women are trying to tend to be women of value, but the men of value walked away in the 2000s. Anything you do, we can do better because the Great Divorce, you're going to walk away from these men. It's like MGTOW 2000s, Fem cells coming up 2000s for men. Um, and we're just being divided by, um, well, it's greed slavery. The women was greedy to try and use men and married men. Outside of marriage, that failed, abolished, and then women abolished the shaggers because they wanted more than just be a shag on a Saturday night. And this is why people can't really um, synchronize with what's going on in the youth. They're just like, man, woman, get together, you have sex, and everything's fine. But it's like, no, love slavery is a mentality. We need to be in that kind of relationship where we're serving and being served, and that sex is an element of servitude, but it's not the defining element, and it's not. It's something that can be dismissed by men and women, and this is why you've lost the gender wars. You've out of touch with men completely. All this fake media, and this is why the problem is that we're all being separated. We've all committed this greed slavery on ourselves, and we're all just going to disconnect, get get anxious, and be in a crippling state. Um, and all the anxiety is going to come out, and it's going to turn the youth into either demons or people who sacrifice themselves, suicide, um, self abuse for the kinder natures, um, and every demon's going to come out to play. Yeah, it's very scary stuff. So basically, what you need to do is share this message. It's important that you share it with everyone because what I've talked about today is new knowledge. It's not on. It's not in the governments. It's not in the education system. It's not in the fake news. You need to share this to everyone on YouTube. Um, and two, you need to donate some money to my PayPal account. I'm only asking for a wage. Basically, I need to quit my job. That's that's basically what's causing my anxiety. Is that I know how to cure this. I need to go and do this cure, but society keeps on pulling me back to this minimum wage job um, to keep running costs. So what I will say is um, good, good donations are allowed, but I just basically need a wage. So everybody who's watching this, around that's it, or a 20 or whatever, scratch card money. Because if um if I don't get this wage, then I will have to walk away, um, go back to minimum wage job and scrap this book because I can't keep having anxiety about trying to save people who won't help me, won't even talk to me, um, give me grants or anything like that. Um, Once I close the door on either minimum wage job or um, writing the cure, my anxiety will go away. I know my anxiety quite well. It's society pulling either side of me. I'm trying to help you, but there's just there's no gateways now. So yeah, for your pounds, it's enter the matrix. It's about 5 minutes of kindness. 1 minute to share everything around. 1 minute to pay the pounds. Um, basically spent about 3 years trying to help you guys. Um, have your government developed a family model that's not sexist, but still has the principles of the nuclear family? No, they have not. They keep on pulling you girls back to the nuclear family. I have developed a twin piston family model, a twin piston work model. I've been kind in that sense. have been kind in developing a dating system, has rules of the sexual revolution and rules of the value system separate, and it's a jump on system, so you can be left alone as well. So I've been kind in that sense. Lovers Mastercode, that's done. I basically need you to buy me some time, people, because if I don't have time to let this cure, when it all kicks off, I won't be there. The cure won't be done, because I just get crippled with anxiety even when I'm doing both jobs basically. So that's why my voice is really dreary and stuff like that because yeah, my brain's going. So hopefully you'll donate to me. PayPal account is paypal.me/the false god of Mercury. Um, and good night and God bless.